Hello, my name is Matthew, and I just got out of the shower. I had just made a video talking about the picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and um, while I was in the shower, I had that moment of staircase wit where I still had things that I was thinking about and thought like there's certain aspects that are really on my mind and worth mentioning, I suppose. Um, One thing I'll kind of get out of the way is I pulled off Dorian by Will Self, which is um, like a revision, a new vision of Oscar Wilde's story, which I'm really thinking about reading again just after finishing Dorian Gray. But the thing that I was thinking about is Oscar Wilde's wit, which of course is famous, but there's two aspects that I kind of want to touch on. The first is the wit on the page. Oscar Wilde's writing is so quick, fast. It as you read dialogue, it feels like it's quick, and I feel like that's a special characteristic that is not always fairly represented on the page. Even if you have snappy dialogue, it can feel like it was, carefully constructed. I remember my mom might be embarrassed, but I remember being a kid, like a early teenager, and watching Friends on television, and my mom just laughing, and she made a comment. We're watching Friends. It's an American television show with a cast of characters. One of the characters is someone named Chandler, who's the quick-witted person. And my mom is laughing, and she goes, "Oh, he's so quick," which I thought was such an interesting comment because, of course, he's not quick. It's scripted, but the reality is, if it's done well, it should feel quick-witted. And Oscar Wilde, if you're reading the plays or the picture of Dorian Gray or just any of his short stories, they feel quick. Like the responses and the thoughtfulness. There's like a flash feeling in them, which is it's just I feel like a very important point in the genius and talent of Oscar Wilde's writing is that that element of quickness. Not only was he quick-witted and sharp, but that he was able to put it down on the page. And the second thing that I was thinking about, and I had thought about in the video, which escaped me, um, is the fact that Oscar Wilde, in fact, is quick-witted. So famously, despite all the things that I could talk about, uh, he was known as a very favorable party guest when it came to tabletop discussion. So he could hold court. And I want to tell two stories that might be apocryphal, maybe not. It's funny to me that like through the years, I've gone to bookstores and they'll have like the quotes of Oscar Wilde, and you can pick them up, and it'll be a compendium of really quick-witted, sharp epigrams or aphorisms or whatever, that are fantastic. The irony to me is that you can pick up any single work of Oscar Wilde and get pretty much get the same collection. So it reminds me of there was a essay. I can't remember who, but it was like almost a critique, or maybe like a sardonic or satirical critique of Hamlet, that said, what's the big deal? Like it's just a string of famous quotations, which is the play of Hamlet. And like when you read Oscar Wilde, it's a string of these brilliant lines, whether it's the importance of being earnest, or other plays, or the Picture of Dorian Gray. You have the same kind of feeling. Like it's just line after line. It reminds me kind of maybe like an obtuse way of watching like a Rodney Dangerfield stand-up set, where it's just banger after banger after banger, punchline after punchline after punchline, and it just keeps going. And you think, well, it's going to end at some point, and instead it's inexhaustive. But in any event, those are my general feelings about Oscar Wilde, I suppose. But I do want to give two stories that, like I said, might be apocryphal, which I think Oscar Wilde would approve of. And the first one I love, and it's the idea that Oscar Wilde is at a dinner party, and he's holding court, and very much like Lord Henry Wotton, or some of the other stories where you have a character talking, and he's in front of a group of people, and he has everybody. Like they're all mesmerized by your wit and thinking, and your devilishness, and your naughtiness, and anyway. And someone all this stuff, right? And someone says, like, oh my goodness, you could talk about any subject. And Oscar Wilde saying, like, boastfully, you tell me a subject, I can talk about any subject. I've been holding court, I've been entertaining everybody, any subject I can talk about. And it's in England, and somebody says, well, the Queen. And in a flash, and the quickness is important in this kind of humor. So Oscar Wilde says, I can talk about any subject. And somebody says, the Queen. And in a flash, Oscar Wilde says, the Queen is not a subject. Which, if that played out, is just some of the heights of wit in my mind. Now, Oscar Wilde is also unfortunately known to maybe be a plagiarizer, to look at other authors and thinkers and companions, and um, he might have sticky fingers. And there's another apocryphal story which would be another dinner table which someone else is holding court and being clever and being funny and having a great line, and Oscar Wilde is present, and he says, "Oh my god, oh my goodness, like that is so clever. I wish I had said it." And the other person says, "Oscar, you will." Which is just so perfect. You will, Oscar, you will. Um, so I wanted to give kind of some of my fun stories. As far as the quotes, I could go all day long with Oscar Wilde quotes, um, but I did want to specify that element of quickness that you find in his stories, which I feel um, is specific and notable. Um, and so that's it. So I'm sorry I didn't do my hair, but thank you for watching. It's handy. Leave a comment if you would like. Thank you and take care.